Well, I forgot the intro. Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Man Cave. There you go. Surprised myself on that one. Oh, well, I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty well. Made some good progress today on the water wheelhouse. Have a couple of little finds to show you. But first, I have a PSA, public service announcement. I imagine I'm usually the last one to know these things. It's just I accidentally happened upon this, and therefore I thought, well, maybe there's other people that don't know this, so I better say this. And that is Social Security, the checks that go out, if you are getting your Social Security payment via paper check, paper checks are going away at the end of this month. September 30th, there will be no more paper checks. So to avoid a delay in getting your payment via Social Security, be sure to set up a direct deposit to your bank account, or you have to, if you don't have a bank account, you need to get a government-issued debit card. I say government-issued. It's some particular website that is affiliated with the government that can give you a debit card, and then they will put your Social Security on the debit card, and you can use that like a credit card, if you will. But anyway, that's a public service announcement that's happening at the end of the month. Take care of it so you don't have a delay. Mine's already direct deposit, so I don't have to worry about it. Let's see. In terms of a couple of finds, I had a couple of finds yesterday. I had this grand idea that I was going to go down the dump road. That's a bad idea. Why was that a bad idea? Well, I'll give you some clue. One of the first things I found on the dump road was an old tube of Crest toothpaste. Now, it was a really large one, too. And I thought, now, why would Bob need that? He's only got one tooth. But anyway, that'll give you some idea. There's a lot of trash on the dump road. If you dig down a couple inches, there's stuff scattered everywhere. So I just gave up on the dump road idea. But at the beginning of in the general area where the dump road starts, I hadn't detected that area very much either. So one of the first things I found there was this. Can you see it? It's a little car. I don't think that's all that old, and my guess is possibly one of my guests that stay at the rental retreat might have lost this, but it was down a couple inches, though. It was down 3 or 4 inches, so it might have been from some previous child somewhere along the line. It's not real old, obviously. And then I found another obligatory spring, leaf spring type spring. The good thing about these, they're useful. I mean, I can, turn it into another kind of a knife, or maybe even a hatchet or something, or who knows what. But it's good steel, Now, it was down pretty deep too. In fact, this was down real deep. This was down about 8 to 10 inches. So it's been there a while. But here's the cool thing I found, and it's semi-cool, but you can't just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and find this exactly like this. Let's say it that way. Look at there. That's a hinge. It actually still functions, but look how ornate it is, I mean, you can find all kinds of little hinges like this, but they're usually plain Jane. They might have a little ornamentation around the outer edge, but they don't have all that stamped into them, like that. So it's pretty old, I imagine. I don't really know how old, but I would guess at least early 1900s, if not older than that. But I'm amazed the hinge actually still works. I guess it's the kind of material it is, and the ground, didn't interact with it. So it's not a rusting type material. It's got to be brass or something like that. Okay, well then I did make some progress on the water wheel house, and here's a video about that. Well, my friends, it's a really nice view from up here of the pond, but it makes you pucker up a little bit when you see what you're standing on. It's a long ways down, but this will give me access to do this. It's pretty strong. It feels really solid. It just makes you a little queasy the first time you get on it, It's kind of a cantilever out there. I won't be standing out on these ends very much, but like maybe have one foot out there just for steady, where I can get over there and work. And the other arm's always busy holding on. It's really hard to do a two-arm job with only one arm, because the other arm's always holding on, seems like. Not 100%, but yeah, it's just not easy being me, and especially right about now. Oh, I'll get through it. I'm not real good with heights, but I've gotten over a lot of my fears as I've gotten older, but it don't make it a whole lot easier. It's even a long way down in there. Oh my goodness, how much fun can we have? So up here on the old scaffolding, I just made a new board to fit this spot right here. It's actually pretty easy because everything's a 45 on this, which I kind of did that on purpose. And then I've got my nail gun here. I really like this nail gun. It's just incredible. Just as fast as you can pull the trigger. No wind up or nothing like some of those other ones have. It's awesome. The most awesome nail gun ever created by a human. I didn't say it was cheap. It was expensive. We're getting there. I got that much more to go on this side and that much more to go on that side. But I'm probably going to take a break here shortly for lunch. It's getting dark in here. It's 11:06. Got that half done. And that includes building the scaffolding and scrounging up all the boards and the materials. And there's a lot more to it than just building it. But at least I got the first half done. If it stays cool like this, I'll probably get the second half done this evening. And then the construction part of this thing is pretty much finished, other than the stair rail, but that's not very much. And wow, I'm just excited to get it done. My little scaffolding's working out great. I had to use it as a cantilever instead of a brace coming down. It just would have been real awkward to try to get a brace coming down on this. But just cantilevering it out like that, and it's strong enough. It's going to hold me. Just need to use it a little bit longer. I'm going to leave it up there while I put that trim board on the outside. And I'm going to make sure I don't have anything else I need that for before I take it down, of course. Maybe for staining. So maybe I'll leave it up there until I get her stained, now that I think about it. Wow, yeah, that's a good idea. So I may have to leave that up there a while. Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at it from the outside, because I haven't seen it from the outside yet. And I guess we'll walk around out here where we can see it. Actually, it's going to be a long way before we can see it, now that I think about it, because the trees are growed up around it. Probably have to go to the other end of the pond. Oh well, stuff happens. Can we see it yet? Not really. I still see a lot of fish activity out there, so the fish are still doing okay, I think, even with all this dang moss in there. Well, we're starting to see it. That's a pretty cool view.
I would zoom in, but I think if I zoom in, I'm going to see that little shadow, but I might as well. I think that shadow's down in the bottom edge there, and it wiggles. That shadow moves when I wiggle this thing. That's really weird. Wish I knew what's causing that. I have no idea what's causing that. Looks pretty cool. And you can see the same image in the pond as you see in real life. Isn't that pretty cool? It's crystal clear still. Isn't that a neat image? I'll have to take that as a picture. That's pretty cool.
So I did take it as a picture, as you could see there. It was a still, and gave me an idea that once I get it all finished, stained, painted, all that, I'll take that picture and make it available for you on the website and give it to you free, in case you might want to have it blown up and put it on your wall or something, because it does look pretty cool. I think that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to try to, blow it up to a large picture or something, and then hang it on my wall of my man cave here, except I ain't got no room. But anyway, let's go to the comments, I think, and see what's going on. Trying to see if I had anything else here. I think that's it. B.H. Ringer looks like he was first in from Nova Scotia, Canada. Our neighbor to the north, soon to be 51st state. Just kidding. But it looks to me like some of the Canadians are instituting that, or initiating that, I should say. Especially Alberta and Saskatchewan. Okay, I'm looking just for question marks. Ronald Todd says, good afternoon, Jerry, from the West Banks of New Jersey. David Tharp says, I'm back. I might wake up tomorrow morning and go for a run. I might also win the lottery. The odds are about the same. Yeah, maybe that's true. Let's see. Gino Hitch. Hi, Jerry and friends. We have got a little rain last night, which is good. Hope everyone is doing good. Really enjoyed the music last night. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Well, thank you. It's a little hard to really put on a show when you're just one person with a mandolin, but I do what I can. It's mostly for people that want to learn to play along and stuff. I try to tell you the chords and things, and hopefully it helps. Let's see. Bruce Hines, good afternoon, Jerry and friends. Don't often get to watch live now, but made it today. Hope all's well. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Bruce. Glad you're here. And again, looking for question marks. David Tharp says, making a salad for lunch. They say the more colorful the salad is, the healthier it is. So I replaced all the lettuce with M&Ms. Yes! Sugar, salt, and preservatives. That's the three main food groups right there. Let's see. Rick Casada doesn't have any question marks, but he says, first time made it here. I come mostly to hear the jokes. Who makes jokes? And Rick says, David Tharp is an expert at it, in my humble opinion. I think, Rick, you're too easy, buddy. You're just too easy. David Tharp says, congrats, Jerry, on getting Spring Valley Ranch paid rent in full. I know with the interest and everything, it cost a fortune, but it's worth every penny. Yeah, we feel real fortunate to have it paid off. That's for darn sure. When I bought it, I felt like it was a good investment. So, to me, it was an investment. And I feel like that investment's really paid off these days. There's properties like this selling now. I don't feel like we'd be asking too much if we were getting $2 million for it, because these kinds of properties that are for hunting leases and things, they're selling big time high nowadays. So I feel like we've got a gold mine here, really. We won't sell it, but at least it's a gold mine. David Tharp, after we went live, says, in case anyone is annoyed that all my terrible puns are in English, here's one in Spanish. Uno. Okay. Let's see. Bill Mumbo. That's a Lightning McQueen from Disney Pixar franchise called Cars. Yeah, there you go. I was wondering, I knew I'd seen it somewhere, and now you say that the Pixar thing. Yeah, that's where I remember it from too, I think. I've never actually watched any of those shows, but you see commercials for it, and you see little clips and commercials and all kinds of things. So I've definitely seen it, but I just didn't know where. Brad Tomatic, what did the orchestra conductor name his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2. That sounds like it was... what was that guy's name? Not Mitch Miller, the other one. I can't think of it now, but that's the way he talked. Anna 1, Anna 2. You guys know who I'm talking about, I think. He was famous on television with his orchestra for years, and I can't think of his name anymore. I know it if I heard it. Lawrence Welk. There you go, Lawrence Welk. I said it. You don't have to. Hugh O'Connor finds... Clue was in the name Dump Road. Whatever you say about Bob, he never killed himself, whatever he did. Yeah, well, it didn't take me very long to figure out it wasn't going to work on the dump road. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a feeling there's some good stuff along there, but there's so much other junk that it'd be impossible to find it, So that's why I gave up. Plus, the dump road, the fact that it's a road, it's so packed down, and everything here's rock anyway. Oh, my gosh, it's just impossible to dig. It's really hard to dig, so it wasn't worth it. Let's see. Yeah, old Bob, he had that giant tube of crest there for that one tooth. Ronald Todd. Jerry, you might want to strap yourself in while working on the scaffolding. Well, I don't disagree with the idea or the sentiment of that, but it's just not practical. It's just not. I have to go up and down at least 4 to 5 times for every single board. I'm not kidding you. And that's, if you saw the title of the video, I didn't know when I had it good. That's what that was about. And I forgot to say that. I think it was because it surprised me when I came on without the intro. But anyway, I was going to say that's the reason I didn't know I had it so good. When I had to climb the ladder 4 or 5 times per board, that was tough. But you ought to try to crawl through that window, get up on the scaffolding 4 or 5 times per board. Oh my gosh. It's way just, yeah. And so strapping it just ain't possible. It ain't practical. You hang on. That's what you do. Hugh O'Connor says, Waterhouse, I don't suppose you want to put a porch on the roadside. Well, first of all, there's really no room, but no, I don't want to. There's just no room anyway, especially with big rigs coming in, horse trailers and trucks and things. You got to have all the room you can spare there. In fact, I felt like I took up enough of it just with that little rock front there. And I do have to work on that a little bit too and finish that off yet, but it's good enough for right now. David Tharp, what a beautiful setting. The water wheel house on the pond. I thought that was a beautiful picture myself. That's just really going to be pretty. And like I said, I'll I'll try to take that with as high a resolution camera as I can get and then make that photo available on the website for free download. Ronald Todd, frame the picture in leftover cedar pieces. Yeah, that's an idea. Don Williams, it's a total insult to all Canadians. Well, Don, obviously you don't know how to take a joke. So there you go, Don. Why don't you just go amuse yourself? How about that? Sidecar Bob. Don is exactly correct. Well, if you feel the same way, Sidecar Bob, well, then I feel the same way about you too. I mean, if you can't understand a joke, then by God, you shouldn't be here. That's all I got to say about that. And that's the way I feel about it. Bill Mumbo, enjoyed the play along last night. No complaints from my neighbors. Well, yeah, well, they're very lenient is all I can say. Bill Webb, good afternoon, Jerry and friends. And by the way, on the Canada thing, I'm not the one that's saying they're going to become the 51st state. They're saying it themselves. Saskatchewan and Alberta are both saying it. Look it up. It's all over the YouTube. It's all over YouTube. So if you don't like it, lump it. That's all I got to say about that. You want to get me, you want to, get started on something, you need to know what you're talking about. Don't come to, a knife fight, bare-fisted. Anyway, because that does aggravate me to hear stuff like that when we're just joking, number one, and number two, I'm not the one saying it. The Canadians themselves are saying it. Bill Webb, good afternoon, Jerry. David Tharp, as ye have therefore received Christ Jesus the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, abounding therein with thanksgiving. There you go, right there. Lawrence Welk, somebody did go ahead and say it. Yep, Lawrence Welk, yep, a 1 and a 2. He would have named his daughters that. Joe, the tuners didn't want to leave that Martin. Boy, that is the truth. Did you get to see the video? I decided to go ahead and release it early. I thought it'd be a good experiment, too, to see if it gets more views by releasing it early. Let's see. That those tuners, it showed. I think it showed up in the video pretty good, but seriously, those suckers were stuck, man. I've never seen it where you turn it and it actually spins the ferrule, and it because it did that, it made the hole much bigger. It just drilled the hole out on where the ferrule was. At least, but fortunately, those were short ferrules, so it only did that on the very top of the hole. By putting those longer ferrules in, I was able to force them down in there still, and they held. Rick Casada, while I'm a Christian now, I need to say I stopped believing in reincarnation when I was Napoleon. Okay. Let's see. John Mason, Jerry, you need a 6-inch or smaller to weed out the junk iron. You're talking about my coil on my, that's what I'm using is a small coil. I'm not making it up. I know you think I'm exaggerating, but the truth is you cannot move that coil, I have this small coil, you cannot move it. In some places you can't move it 1 inch without hitting something else. Most places you can't move it a foot without hitting something else. That's how much stuff's in the ground. It's unbelievable. And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly how it is. Yeah, and that's what he says there. Yeah, the coil, that is. You are correct. And I do keep the small coil on there because of that exact problem. I have the large coil for it also, but the large coil doesn't do me any good around here. Don Williams, Trump's a wannabe dictator. Trump's not joking, and repeating this crap makes you a dictator too. Well, Don Williams, I'm sorry, buddy, but you need to go somewhere else. That's all I got to say about it. And Trump's nowhere near a dictator. I didn't like Trump at all in his first term. I absolutely hated the guy in the first term. I just couldn't stand him. Then Biden came in, and then I started to like Trump a lot more. Then Trump came in his second term, and this time he is kicking butt. He's taking names, and I'll tell you what, I stand by him in this second term. So if you don't like it, Don, see you, buddy. Take care. Sidecar Bob, it is an insult, and if you repeat it, you're saying it, you wouldn't like it, the insult your home. Look, Sidecar Bob, I was joking about it, number one. Number two, I'm not the only one saying it. The Canadians themselves are saying it. Do you not understand English? They're saying it, not me. They're saying it. It's all over YouTube. Preston Johnson, I watched you for a long time. I'm with you. Don't take things so personal. Laugh. You will live longer. Yeah. Well, I'm totally okay with it. But when you start, making personal attacks, I'll come right back at you. I'm not one to sit here. Bill Mumbo, calm down, folks. Now that's about pros and cons of hide glue. Yeah, for sure. Bad Bob V65. Jerry, you are correct about the Canadian thing. There are 4 different Canadian states looking at secession right now, and it is them talking about it. Honestly, I can't blame them. Yeah, I just, you can say what you want. I'm just repeating the facts, folks. I'm not making it up. Plus, I was only joking when I said it the first time. If you couldn't tell I was joking, well, then I'm sorry, but you need to get a sense of humor. Ben Boyd, if I could paint at all, I'd love to paint a painting of your water wheel and pond, especially with the reflection off the pond. Yeah, you have to get this the situation just right. It has to be an overcast, calm day with no wind. And that's exactly how it was this morning. There was 0 wind, so the pond was perfectly glass smooth still. Let's see. Ronald Todd, Don, if you would pay attention, you would know that Trump will stir the pot to see what floats to the top. And that's true, too. Let's see. And I tell you what, Trump's the first one that stood up to the drug cartels. I mean, that took some guts. I mean, he stood up and said, look, boys, you're going to play this way? Here's how we're going to play. And that's exactly what I'd do if I was there. If you don't think I wouldn't do that, you don't know me. I'd do the exact same thing on that. I do not like the drug thing at all. 0, none, not any. Let's see. Oser says, use a strap attached around your waist and one of the beams inside the house. It's just that you have to hook and unhook, and it's just I agree with you. I mean, I totally understand your point. I really do, and I'm not even saying it's wrong or anything. It's just not practical. It just isn't. Cup of Cool, you are by far the highlight of every one of my days. Big guy, don't you ever change. Thank you. BH Ringer, don't know what kind of drugs they're doing in Saskatchewan and Alberta, but hope I don't see them separate in my lifetime. Well, I don't necessarily want them to either. That's not the point of it. I'm telling you that that's what they're talking about. Sidecar Bob, a few idiots are saying it. I am among the majority of Canadians who are not saying it. Well, that's your opinion, buddy, and I'm happy for you. I don't say you should become the 51st day. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just joking around because it's been in the news. If you can't joke about stuff, then why are we even here at all? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. And everybody does the political correct thing, these days, and you can't offend anybody, and you got to say the right thing. Well, I'm sorry, but if you can't take a dadgum joke, then just go somewhere else. That's all I got to say about it. Paul Anier, Jerry, I watch you run a turkey bowl kickoff catch all the way back for a touchdown. I'm not messing with you. Yeah, I did do that. Also, one tree should go down as it's blocking the water wheelhouse from the lakeside. Very good work otherwise. Well, yeah, I don't disagree with you entirely, but on the other hand, that ain't going to happen because Sue likes those trees, and she wouldn't let me cut them down. So there you go. Sidecar Bob, calling an insult a joke doesn't make it funny. Oh, shut up. I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. That's just ridiculous. I won't be reading any more of your comments, Sidecar Bob, because you're just being ridiculous. You're going to, there you go, you become an extremist. If you can't joke about stuff, then if you can't see both sides of a story, then you're an extremist. And you are definitely becoming an extremist. There you go. Thumbs up, everyone. Well, if you would, that would help the video. But like I said, I don't put up with direct insults to me either. So if you want to joke around and have some fun, that's fine. We can do that. But if you're going to start getting direct insulting to me when you obviously know I'm just making light of a situation, and what I say has no bearing on the situation anyway, so just live with it. If you can't live with it, lump it, go somewhere else. I'm happy. If I lose every viewer, I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to just roll over and play like some dummy just because I have to be politically correct. No, that ain't going to happen. Y'all have a great weekend. I'm hoping I can show you the completed water wheel house, including the staining and everything, by Monday. Though that probably won't happen, but I wish I could. We'll see you then.